Up to now, I still do not understand his personality. He is cool, calm, brilliant, cold, harsh, and confident. But anyway, I still love him. Love his coldness, love his intelligence, love his caring about me at least before, love the way he first looked at me. Jane Austen, yes, that was her real name, much to the amusement of her literary friends, was an assistant professor of literature at St. Andrews University, where Professor Scott MacGregor presided as the head of the department. Known to all simply as Scottish, he was a formidable figure in academia, revered for his sharp intellect and feared for his exacting standards. From the first day Jane had walked into his ornate, book-lined office, she felt an inexplicable pull towards him. It wasn't just his towering intellect that intrigued her, but the brief glimpses of warmth he occasionally let slip through his otherwise stoic facade. She cherished these moments, a softening of his blue eyes, a rare, unguarded smile, a thoughtful pause in the midst of a heated debate to ask her opinion. Their connection deepened over shared academic projects and late evening discussions about math, her specialty, which surprisingly also turned out to be an area Scottish was passionate about, despite his cold exterior. Jane found herself falling for him, against her better judgment. But Jane's perception of mutual affection was shattered the day she decided to leave her position to potentially explore a relationship with him outside the professional boundaries that she felt constrained them. She had imagined, perhaps fancifully, that he too might want something more than the scholarly camaraderie they shared. On her last day, as she stood in his office with a resignation letter in hand, the autumn light casting long shadows on the floor, she felt a mix of anticipation and dread. "Scottish," she began hesitantly, "I have cherished my time here immensely, but I feel it's time for me to explore new opportunities. I am resigning from my position." Scottish looked up from his desk, his expression unreadable. "I see," he said slowly. "I must admit, I am surprised. You are quite skilled, Jane. Your expertise in romantic poetry has been a tremendous asset to this department." Encouraged by his words, Jane took a deep breath. "I was hoping, perhaps foolishly, that without the constraints of our roles, we might explore a different kind of relationship." For a moment, there was a flicker of something in Scottish's eyes that she couldn't decipher. Then it was gone, his face settling back into its usual impassive mask. "Jane, I respect you greatly as a colleague," he replied, his voice steady and formal. "However, I must be clear. My career, my research, it consumes all my time and energy. I do not have the capacity for personal entanglements." The words stung more than she expected. "I understand," Jane managed to say, her voice a whisper. "Thank you for everything, Scottish. Goodbye." As she left his office for the last time, her heart heavy, she realized that what she had seen as caring might have been mere collegial affection, amplified by her own longing. Months turned into a year, and Jane found herself in a new role at a different university. Her passion for her work remained, but she was more guarded now, her dreams tempered by the lessons she had learned. Scottish continued to excel in his career, his professional life seemingly unaffected by their parting. True love, she often reflected, is perhaps only once or twice in a lifetime, and if you miss it, you keep it as a precious memory, safely documented in the heart. Or maybe, as in her case, this experience was also a way to reconcile with herself, acknowledging that some loves are not meant to be pursued but cherished from afar for what they taught about life, about love, and most importantly, about oneself. Jane often found herself walking through the university's cobbled paths under the sprawling branches of ancient oaks, thinking of Scottish. She no longer felt the sharp pang of heartache, but a softer, more reflective sadness. She had loved, and it had not been returned in the way she hoped, but she had grown. She had found new depths to her resilience and new heights to her ambitions. In the echoes of her heart, where the lines of poetry she loved mingled with bittersweet memories, Jane found a quiet strength. She was whole on her own, her heart richer for its scars, her spirit wiser for its trials.